Right there's that wrench I had went on the bulldozer. I was wondering what happened to it. Well, you've seen some things today you ain't seen lately, have you?
Yeah, I've seen some things I have never seen today.
This building was built about 1958. My uncle and his neighbor hoped Daddy built this.
Now this is the car that we saw down at Pretty's last year that we filmed you with.
It about that June the 10th, 1955. That was his birthday.
So what did he buy? Did he buy a car every year on his birthday just about?
No, he's bought two, this and the 66.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember that.
He traded the 53 Chevrolet for that.
A 53.
Yeah. Had 18,000 miles on it when he traded it.
So you got this, you told us, when you were 17 years old.
Yeah.
And so you've had it 67, 68 years now.
He gave it to me when I was 17.
Now you've redone this and you said that you painted it maybe twice over the 67 years.
Been painted twice. Rolled and pleated the seats in it. You want to see this?
Sure, absolutely.
See, that's original stuff there.
Oh, all original.
Yeah.
Maybe the radiator's been replaced.
Yeah, I put a new radiator on it, yeah.
Them things just won't hold up, will they?
No. Well, I got it right there in the box.
Oh, you still got the original in the box. So now what's these lights down here? I just noticed that. Was that an add-on or is that factory?
Hey, fog lights. Yeah, no, I put them on there myself.
Okay.
I had them out here, but then I put them in there.
So how many miles did you end up putting on this vehicle?
Oh, I don't know. It's got 180 on it now.
So you drove this one a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
But for a 55
yeah,
Chevrolet, 180,000 miles, that's low mileage.
Straight gear, overdrive, power pack. 182 horsepower.
182 horsepower.
I guess you've seen the Time Master, ain't you?
No, what's that?
That's a biker stringer that come out with years ago, but now they don't use them much. They just store them in a big box and put them in the biker barns.
Did you use that on the farm?
Well, we used it 5 or 6 years, a whole lot. Yeah, we really had some good time. Right here's the first lawnmower we bought. Had a seat on it, you know. It had a hood up here.
That's a riding mower?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's one of the first ones.
I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Got that down Lowe's down in Madison, North Carolina. Right here's a hood. Went on the Chevrolet.
Oh yeah, that must be 20s or 30s, I guess.
It went on back in the 30s, I guess.
So this right here is kind of fascinating, this lawnmower. The ride, I thought that's a push mower when I saw it earlier.
No, it's...
There's a seat right there, ain't there?
Yeah, it got a seat. Has a thing come off and that goes on there.
So you mowed with this, huh? I guess.
Yeah, I mowed with it some, yeah.
Well, that can't be more than a 4 horsepower motor on that thing.
Oh, it ain't much. It ain't too much.
I don't see how it mowed and pulled somebody.
Well, it just...
That must have been one of the first ride mowers come out. That's probably a 50s.
Oh, yeah, his on back there. Yeah.
Now, what's in these bags? I never did understand what you said you had in these bags hanging up.
Some of them got fertilizer sacks in them, and some of them's got plant bed claws. We put them claws on the plants years ago. keep the frost from biting them, you know. When you sowed the plant bed, you'd put a cloth over it to keep things off of it, which once in a while a fox would come through or a dog one would step in, get a hole in the plant bed cloth, but you couldn't do nothing about that. Now right there's a wheelbarrow there. He bought that in the 40s. I think it comes from Sears and Roebuck, but I ain't for sure.
It's in good shape, ain't it?
Well, yeah.
Don't need much, does it?
Yeah, just that wood right there is sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
It deteriorated, but the rest of it's pretty good. I've been aiming to get that out and put it on a post, but I don't get things done like I ought to. You get old, you don't do things, you know.
And you got another barn over here. Do you want to show us this barn over here? This is the tobacco barn.
Well, yeah, it'd be all right.
Let's go over here and look at it. We looked at it earlier. There's some things interesting about it I liked.
Did you see this stuff here?
Oh yeah, these what do you call them?
Harness goes on
harnesses.
Starts, yeah. Collars, yeah.
Now, did you have any horses on the farm when you was a kid?
Yeah, we had two horses on the farm, and then got a mule, and got another mule. When they got the tractors, you know, we got rid of the horses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you started out with a mule and horses working the farm.
Yeah.
How old was you when your daddy started making you work on the farm?
Well, I bet all the time when I know that biker I got up there. I got 1943, they left me at the end of the field. And they got back out there, I done primed one halfway stalk. I've got a paper on that.
Now, I didn't understand what you're talking about. When you were about 2 or 3 years old, they left you at the end of the field.
3 years old, they left me at the end of the field on a quilt.
On a quilt?
You know, while they was sucking biker, you know, topping. And that's what happened. I primed one halfway up the stalk and stayed with it for years.
So you started going out in the field with them when you was about 3, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Back then, kids had to come up with it, you know. Now the kids don't know nothing now, you know.
Well,
I'm glad I was raised on the farm.
Yeah? Why's that? Tell us why you like it.
I've learned a lot of things that a lot of people don't learn, you know, unless they're raised on the farm.
Right. You learn to work hard's one thing you learn, ain't it?
Oh, Lord, yeah. Hard work don't hurt you. It hurts people's mind. Now, that's a tiller right there, and I got 3 plows sitting there. They're 14-inch plows.
Now, was this building original on the property too? We talked about that.
Yeah, it's already there.
Now we can tell right up here about how old it is because we got them log rafters, and looks like, well, you've all covered it up with tin, I guess, to help protect it.
Yeah, we'll put tin. See, they had board roofs on them years ago.
What kind of roofs?
Boards.
Boards.
See, they'd go in the woods and cut a tree down and cut them about that long, the little logs, and then they'd take this, I'd call them a pro or something like that, and then a sludge hammer and hit that and bust it.
Shake.
Yeah, and get them about a half-inch thick or something like that, and about that wide. You know, some of them would be a little wider. That was
hand split shingles, wood shingles. Yeah. There's a name for them. I call them shake shingles, but I don't think that's the right term. And I guess it's depending on where you live, what state. Well, so this is what was interesting to me when we come down here and looked at this, Wayne. I saw these fireplaces right here. You got one here.
Yeah.
And you got one right over there.
Barn has 2 of them, one on each side. Then it has pipes running from this flue all the way around, and then have a pipe coming outside for the smoke to come out of.
Yeah, I went back up here and I let the folks see the pipes. And I just don't know if what states they did that as far as drying the tobacco with using heat. So you used you didn't.
Well, it's just like a heater in a house, you know. It's got 4, one in each corner, pot bellies, what you call them.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, it heats it just like wood, you know.
Right. But you didn't use wood. You ended up going over to fuel oil on this one, you said.
Oh yeah.
Let's walk around here and we'll show them that.
Went to fuel hall.
Now I know somebody'd love to have that door. This old, that was a Chevrolet. Early 70s maybe?
Yeah, I wouldn't tell you nothing about that.
I know you wouldn't, but there's a guy paints signs on them, like puts the names of farms or businesses.
But actually,
that's in good shape, ain't it?
I don't think it'd fit mine. Mine's got a little side door here.
Yep, that's a nice door. I like that color of it too.
Yeah.
Then here's the tobacco sticks. We looked at them.
Yeah.
And those is what you use when you're doing tobacco. And you said you quit, sold your allotment